Hey there Cosmic Warriors, and welcome back to another video. And if you are new here, my name is Hannah. I am a Western Practical Astrologer. Okay, so in today's video, we are going to be talking all about the mythologies of Libra. So looking at Mesopotamian, Egyptian and Greek. That way you can gain a deeper understanding of this cooperative sign. Stay tuned because we are going to get into it. But before we do, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button and click the bell. And if you're interested in booking a reading with me, then you can visit my website, hannahselsewhere.com. There you can also find my practical astrology ebooks guide, merch, cheat sheets, all that good stuff. All the links to those products will be in the description box down below. And I also want to say thank you so much to my patrons over at Patreon. Thank you for all of your support. And if you do want access to early astrology videos, then you can join the Patreon. You can also get access to daily forecasts and PDF guides. As always, I hope you find this video to be helpful. Let's do this. And before we do get into this, I want to give a massive shout out to the author of this book, Astrology for Lovers, Liz Greene. I highly recommend this read. Thanks to Liz Greene's knowledge, I have been able to create this very series. All right, so let's start off by turning our attention to ancient Babylon. The constellation of Libra was referred to as, I will insert the words here, balanced of heaven. But they also referred to Libra as the claws of the scorpion, which we did explore in previous videos, about how the scales of Libra used to be the scales of Scorpio. Yes, the scales were once formed from the scorpion's claws long ago. Now, the scales are sacred to the sun god Shamash. They symbolize the autumn equinox when day and night are equal. The scales also symbolize judicial prudence, weighing up the evidence. Oh yes, Libra was associated with truth and justice, which is even quite evident today, seeing as Libra rules the lower courts, law and justice in astrology. Now, when the sun rose in Libra during the autumn equinox, this was called the weighing place. And the weighing pans were directly overlaid upon the scorpion's claws. And even though years later, the scales and claws they separated, Ptolemy still referred to Libra as the claws of the scorpion. Claudius Ptolemy, of course, being a mathematician, an astronomer, and an astrologer, known for his geocentric model of the solar system. Still, there is something rather significant about how Libra is associated with truth and justice. Sun god Shamash was known for seeing everything that happened in the world, making him responsible for justice and protection. He was a divine judge, if you will, and was also associated with the underworld. He was the god of divination. Shamash was associated with law and order. He would shine a light on darkness to reveal the truth. He was the witness of all actions and would also punish those who swore false witness. Now, he was also depicted holding a saw, and it is suggested that this saw is a symbol of justice. Like I said, Libra is tied to law and the courts. And it is Lady Justice who wears a blindfold as she holds a sword in one hand and then the scales in the other. Now, Gavin White mentions the correlation between the sun god Saw and Lady Justice. The blindfold represents impartiality, the sword represents punishment, and the scales represent justice. Now, I want you to remember that Saturn is exalted in Libra. And during ancient Babylon, Libra and the sun had a special relationship with Saturn. This is referred to as the star of the sun or as the star of truth and justice. But truly, I think this suggests just how karmic the sign of Libra is. And with the scales once being the claws of the scorpion, this points to Libra's associations with the underworld, life, and death. Now, according to myth, Shamash was the twin brother of Inanna, who we have talked about in previous videos. Shamash, a god of the sun, Inanna, god of the moon, and Inanna, goddess of Venus, made up the astral triad of divinities. Just as a reminder here, Inanna was the goddess of justice, fertility, and war, and so on. And the significant thing here is the relationship between Shamash and Inanna, representing the cycle of the relationship between Venus and the sun. Now, there is the 5-petal rose of Venus, which is created every 8 years, which I have made a video about. But you see, Inanna was warlike and violent. She would be ready for battle. But she also sailed off with the Mace after a drinking session with Enki. The Mace possessed the secrets of the universe, law and order and truth. Okay, so let's now move on to Egyptian mythology. I quite enjoy this type of mythology. So in ancient Egypt, the constellation of Libra was referred to as, I will insert the word here, the divine child, and symbolized birth and renewal. Libra was also associated with Scorpio. Now, at the time of death, of course, Scorpio rules death, the scales were used to determine if the soul would reincarnate. Now, there is this goddess named Mat, who was the Egyptian goddess of truth, balance, order, law, and justice. She regulated the stars and the seasons and so on. She also regulated any actions of the people that brought order from chaos. And she also had an opposite called Isfet, meaning chaos and injustice. Cosmic order was balanced against chaos. Whilst Mat was the goddess of order and balance, it was the pharaoh who made sure that the people maintained it. Goddess Mat would place the heart of the dead on one scale, which would be weighed against the feather of Mat on the other side. If the heart was lighter than the feather, the soul would continue to meet Osiris, who was the god of resurrection and life. However, if the heart was heavier, the soul would be fed to Ammit. Ammit was the devourer of the dead and had the head of a crocodile, the middle of a lion, and then the back of a hippopotamus. Indeed, this was about judging the dead. Now, Thoth was the one who measured a person's heart. Thoth, of course, was quite similar to that of Hermes. He was the messenger of the gods as he traveled between heaven, earth, and the underworld. Before the weighing of the heart took place, though, the soul had to make a negative confession. They would confess all the wrongs they had done. Remind you of anything? I keep thinking of religion, particularly Christianity, as I share this information, thinking about how God is this all-seeing, all-knowing judge, watching and judging everything we do, and that we either go to heaven or hell. We're either granted new life after death, or we are eaten by a scary monster. But perhaps this is all symbolic of judgment, karma, law, harmony. This is about truth. This is about justice. Do we live our lives based on divine order, or do we descend into chaos? Then again, is it that the laws of the universe are much stronger than what we do, meaning balance will be restored eventually? And if so, will we feel like we're out of our depths? All right, so let's get into the Greek mythology of Libra. This type of mythology is always my personal favorite. So Libra is connected with the Greek story of Tiresias, the blind prophet, which included the goddess Hera. Now, the story has it that Tiresias was observing two snakes that were coupled together in the sacred grove of the goddess. Now, this blind prophet asked Hera which snake, serpent, experienced the greatest pleasure. However, goddess Hera could not answer. And so Hera granted Tiresias the ability to live as a female for some time of his life. This way, Tiresias had the opportunity to spend some time as both male and female. After living as a transsexual, he returns to Hera. Zeus was also present. And Hera asks him, which experience served you the most pleasure? But Tiresias, in his balancing act to not offend neither Hera nor Zeus, he stated that being a female granted him the most pleasure. But Zeus was outraged. Zeus was absolutely furious that Tiresias would insult his manhood. And so, out of rage, Zeus strikes Tiresias blind. However, in Greek mythology, blindness represented inner sight and the ability to see the truth. This then led to Tiresias becoming the blind prophet. This myth can be associated with the qualities of Libra that are indecisive and conscious of alternatives due to how Hera did not choose which serpent experienced the greatest pleasure. Likewise, this could be said about Tiresias in his decision-making process when confronted by Hera and Zeus. However, this myth can also be associated with the qualities of Libra that can be diplomatic and fair due to the balancing act by Tiresias. Then again, there can also be qualities to Libra that really tries not to offend other people. Furthermore, this myth signifies polarity and duality due to Tiresias experiencing the female role, okay? It is Libra that is a sign of polarity and often tries to balance both the masculine and the feminine, and it's both of these sides that can be found in all humans. Also keep in mind that Libra is a masculine sign. It's also a cardinal air sign, suggesting that this archetype, it's a sign of leadership and strategy, intellect and logic and reason. Libra energy is able to use the power of the mind and distribute it in a charming way, in a graceful, persuasive and beautiful way too. Libra represents the anima and the animus in everyone. And as previously mentioned, this is a sign of truth. And it was Zeus who made Tiresias blind, and blindness indicated inner sight. Libra is a highly intellectual sign that weighs out information so well. This is a sign that sees things from an opposite point of view and are often known for playing devil's advocate. Now, I also want to explore another Greek myth tied to Libra. Libra is often associated with Astraea. Now, in the Virgo mythology video, we explored Libra's connections with Virgo. We've also previously looked at the relationship between Virgo and Scorpio. Virgo was identified as the virgin goddess Astraea. She was the goddess of justice, innocence, and purity. Now, Astraea was the daughter of Zeus and Themis. Astraea and her mother were incarnations of justice. But Astraea left humanity because it was much too sinful, and so the scales of justice associated with Astraea became Libra. Now, Themis was also depicted holding a pair of scales, much like Astraea, and was the goddess of law and good counsel. She is one of the 12 Titan children of Gaia and Uranus and is associated with oracles and prophecies, and also gave birth to the Hours, the goddesses of order, and she would let loose Nemesis to restore balance. We have talked about Nemesis in the 7 Hermetic Lots video. She used justice as a punishment and was the goddess of revenge. Still, what does this information tell us about Libra? Yes, Libra is about truth, fairness, and justice. Justice will be served. Imagine a murder taking place and the suspected murderer is arrested. The whole court process that occurs, this is Libra. This is about recognizing right and wrong, making judgments about right and wrong, but this is also about remaining impartial, when looking at the evidence presented. Keep in mind that a jury will come to a verdict based on their view of the facts and what the judge tells them about the law. Is the defendant guilty or not guilty? And if they are guilty, they are sentenced, right? They are punished. They can go to prison. They face the consequences. And if they're not guilty, then they are set free. So this is interesting to me because Libra is often viewed as being very agreeable. And yes, this sign can be, but Libra also teaches us that we can disagree as well. And it's about weighing things out, assessing where we stand, weighing all sides of an issue and then making a decision. But this is also about truth and honesty. This is about doing what is right based on the decision we arrive to. Where is there harmony, but where is there discord? And how can balance be corrected? Libra tends to play devil's advocate, but this is done in a way that seeks to determine the validity of something. This can be used as a tool to help an individual weigh out their options and identify the pros and the cons of a situation or a scenario. On the other hand, there are also parts of Libra that can be manipulative, insincere, and uncommitted. Libra is a sign that can be selfish when it wants to be, but they're just not going to be open about this. After all, Libra also tends to be too concerned about appearances and being liked. Mirroring can also occur in an unhealthy way where they lack independence, appearing sweet and agreeable above the surface, but how Libra feels beneath the surface could be the complete opposite. And in their pursuit of justice, Libra can be unsympathetic and overly judgmental. And this is where we notice the qualities Libra can often lack. Qualities of healthy aggression, directness, being conscientious, precision, self-control, and passion. Consider where Libra sits in the zodiac. Opposite Aries, the sign of assertion, directness, and being daring, and between signs Virgo and Scorpio. Virgo is the hidden self of Libra. Virgo encourages Libra to integrate qualities of precision and being thorough. And Scorpio correlates with the qualities Libra is here to learn, the qualities Libra grows into. Qualities of being emotionally strong, passionate, relentless, and perceptive. Libra teaches us that creating peace and harmony with others to develop a connection is so important, and that two minds is often better than one. We also learn how to reach an equilibrium, how to consider other people's perspectives and weigh them against our own, and that a common ground can be found. We can reach a compromise. Then again, there are also times in life when a compromise cannot be reached, and it is how we face the truth of such matters. Through this archetype, we also learn how to put ourselves into other people's shoes, how to see the other side of the coin, and also seeing how our own actions can impact another. If we don't want something to happen to us, then perhaps we also shouldn't act in such a way towards somebody else. But overall, Libra is the host or the hostess of the zodiac and shows up as diplomacy and relatability in our charts. This social and interactive energy is charming and graceful, with a strong desire to stand for truth and justice. Okay then, Cosmic Warriors, so that concludes my video talking all about the mythology of Libra. Please let me know if you found this video to be helpful. Did you learn something new? I would really appreciate your feedback, and like you, I am always learning. You can find all of the sources that I used in this video in the description box down below. And of course, I also want to say thank you so much to my patrons for all of your support. Let me know then if you do have any thoughts and opinions on today's video down below. But with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And of course, if you would like to see more videos from myself and you have not yet subscribed, then make sure that you click that subscribe button and also give this video a like if you did like it today. And I will be back with another video very soon. Bye!